Hello, I'm Julia Newsome, and I want to tell you about my first full-length novel, The Boy in Two Minds, because part of the story is set 2,456 years ago at the ancient Olympic Games, and this year, 2024, is again an Olympics year. Other parts of the story happen in ancient Athens and on the ship between the two. But if you're interested in visiting the Olympics in their original form and setting, with the obsessive training, the sweat, the flies, the nakedness, the rituals, and the rules kept and broken, you'll probably enjoy this book. It's a dual timeline adventure in which Suzanne, an athletic schoolgirl from Cumbria in England with Olympic ambitions, becomes mentally connected to Themistocles, or Themis as he's known, a boy of 12 or so living in ancient Greece. The connection comes about as they both suffer head injuries in accidents at the same exact place in Athens. A religious ritual draws Suzanne back through time into Themis' mind, and he wakes with no memory of his own and only two tiny flashes of her memory. She remains in a coma in hospital in Athens and then in England. Meanwhile, Themis tries to make sense of the fast-moving, bewildering world he finds himself in. No sooner has he begun to learn who is who among his family and friends than he is attacked as he sleeps in a hospital dormitory for ill boys. He manages to frighten his assailant off, and his mother says it's a case of a mistaken identity. But was it? And there's a constant air of something unsaid. Is it just the injury that makes strange repeating notes and quiet, incomprehensible voices sound in his head? What is everyone hiding from him, even while they are obviously glad he's alive? Alive he may be, and slowly recovering, but he has headaches and bewildering nightmares. Some of these are caused by his injury, and others, readers will understand, although he doesn't, are caused by his connection to Suzanne, as she returns to England, still in a coma. Later, at a family gathering on a religious feast day, Themis faints and has a vision of the great god Zeus. This convinces his reluctant mother to allow him to travel to Olympia as apprentice to his two uncles. They are working on the colossal, richly decorated gold and ivory statue of Zeus for the temple there. It later became one of the 7 wonders of the world. But even his uncles seem to be keeping something from him, while further accidents make it clear to him and his boy slave that someone or something is trying to get rid of him. Suzanne's coma lasts for weeks. If she wakes, will Themis die? She is living his life with him, fascinated by the physical training, the building of the statue, and the mysteries of his father's death, the would-be murderer, and a historic theft. Will she be able to untangle her mind from his? Her friends are worried that she will never return to normal. As she, step by tiny step, begins to be aware of modern England as well as ancient Athens, she doesn't tell them, but she is worried too. One reason I loved writing this book, and its sequels, as you can see, there's a girl in two worlds and an ancient connection. One reason is that the characters seem to be writing the story themselves. They made me laugh and cry and bite my nails with anxiety for them. I didn't feel quite in control. A new writing sensation for me. I've written lots of things to order, but had never had this kind of suspense and excitement to get back to it each day. Another reason is that I lived in Athens for 25 years, teaching English and writing and editing teaching books. So I knew the geography. I still visit regularly, as I have family there. So the trilogy grew from the two sides of my life, so to speak. Socrates, who comes into the books briefly, is quoted as saying that wonder is the beginning of wisdom. I do a lot of wondering about wonderful things, and then I try and write about them. Writers are often advised to write the books they would like to read themselves. At least I've been told that again and again. And at last I found the time and the opportunity to do just that. So I did. And I hope you like them too. Reviewers say they're quite exciting.